Well, the archive was released by the Sun-Times at some point in the past through an arrangement to have the collection digitized in an agreement with a third party. And when that arrangement became problematic, the collection wound up going through a court sale, and it was acquired by a fourth party through which it was offered to the History Museum for purchase. And so we acquired it at that time. In partnership with the Chicago Sun-Times, as the copyright holder, we were able to negotiate not only a way to acquire the collection so that it's made available to the people who are interested in Chicago history and doing research here, we're also able to license those images in an agreement arranged with the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I feel like it's a really great chance for us to innovate as a museum with how we're approaching these processing practices and making sure that we're staying on the cutting edge as far as handling digital images and digital collections well.
When the collection was presented to us, we understood it to be approximately 6 million total images. But we are certain that there's millions of unique images of Chicago that would have only been seen by Sun-Times newspaper photographers and readers of the Sun-Times for the portion that were actually published in the paper. But one of the things that makes this collection so strong is the fact that newspaper photographers typically would go out and shoot many more images than would ever wind up in the paper. And so we have a tremendous number of images that have never been seen before. It's decades and decades of photographic history of Chicago, so it presents some complication for us just to sort of make sense of the collection and give people a way into it. A big part of our job right now has been to find an order for the collection so that we can make sense of it and then begin the process of creating an opportunity and a way of letting other people into the collection so that they can look at it too. It's a monumental task because it's so much material, but yeah, when we found it, it was in a variety of boxes and bins and a storage locker. So we've got a bit of an army of people currently combing through the collection, making digital records of the what are now mostly handwritten notes about the individual shots that were taken and the moments that these photographers were working in. That all has to be recorded in electronically so that we can sort those files and organize the records so that we can know what we have, and so therefore we'll be able to tell people what's in the collection. Sun-Times had a reputation for having really remarkable photographers on staff, and they certainly had Pulitzer Prize winners and really accomplished photographers. And as you go through this collection, you can see why they had such a great reputation. There are some amazing photographs and really well orchestrated images. So I mean, when we can make this available, I think people will be truly impressed, and their reputation of the Sun-Times will be demonstrated to be justified. Their photography is really incredible.